Shabbat Shalom, my little friends. So I've tried to get myself seated in a position to where y'all can kind of see what's going on behind me. While I'm reading these Bible verses, I'm just going to read the Bible verses from the specific concordance number, and then we'll go into the study eventually. You want to see how I'm sitting? I'm sitting literally on a tree with his roots sticking out right here. So we ain't gonna fall in, that's right. Okay, so I'm just gonna read the concordance number, the Bible verses from this number. And it's for fire and flaming. Okay, concordance number 3857. Lahat, to lick, to blaze, burn, burn up, set on fire, flaming, kindle. H3858. Lahat, ablaze, enwrapping. Magic as covert. Flaming, enchantments. And that is from the concordance number, root number 3857. So these two are the same thing. What I notice in the concordance is what they do is these two have the same marks. These two concordance numbers, and what they'll do is they'll make it seem like it's two different concordance numbers when it's not. If you go look up flaming, fire, burning in the Greek, it's all the same concordance number. But if you'll notice, our Father repeats himself. I'm not going to go through and read it, but in Psalms 104, he talks about the angels being his spirits, his ministers of flaming fire. That's for this concordance number, this magic enchantment. And then that is repeated in Hebrews 1:7. And Hebrews 1:7 refers back to Psalms 104. They talk about a garment, the covering, the Holy Spirit, wind, and breath. But remember, the enemy has his covering. And I think that's where this enchantment, this magic, this witchcraft, witchery comes from. Okay, well, let's read these Bible verses that have this concordance number, and then we'll go through the study eventually. Not all words that have fire, burning, or flaming are this concordance number. Only specific ones. We're reading the specific ones. Malachi 4:1. Behold, the day cometh that shall burn, and that's 1197, H 1197, as an oven. And all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn, and that's from this 3857, this Lahat. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahuwah the Lord Zavod of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So it's interesting, this enchantment, this magic, burn them up. Remember, the Holy Spirit, wind, and breath, the faith that is inside you is hotter than the fiery darts of the wicked. And remember, Jesus' Holy Spirit, wind, and breath, he baptizes you in fire. So sometimes when the word fire, burning, flaming is mentioned, it is talking about something else other than the fire that we see that can burn, make things like turn to ash. And it's not all the time. There are bombs, there are fires, there's destruction with fire. But these are the ones that are talking about this specific burning, this specific enchantment, magic, this fire that he's talking about. Joel 1:19, O Yahuwah the Lord, to thee will I cry, for the fire, and that's from H784, which most fire words are H784, hath devoured the pastures of the wilderness. And the flame, and that's from 3852, which comes from this concordance, Lahat, hath burned, and that's from the 3857, the Lahat, all the trees of the field. So, and the flame hath burned all the trees of the field. So this magic enchantment burns all the trees of the field. And if you go into Joel, very interesting, read the whole book of Joel. It really talks about the army that comes. Okay. Psalms 97:3. A fire, 784, goeth before him and burneth up his enemies round about. That word burneth is concordance 3857. This Lahat, this magic, this enchantment. Joel 2:3. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame, 3852, burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. And nothing shall escape them. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. That word flame is 3852, and the burneth is this same lahat, 3857. And he's talking about this army that comes out, that he sends. The Garden of Eden is before them. Land is before them. And behind them is this flame that burneth with fire. This flame that burneth, which is this 3852, lahat. Very interesting stuff here. Okay, Deuteronomy 32:22. For a fire is kindled in mine anger, and shall burn into the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. Now this word, let's see, fire 784, the kindled 6919, H6919, and shall burn. That word burn is H3344. Look it up. Unto the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire. And that set on fire is the 3857. This lahat, enchantment, set on fire the mountains. And if you get into the book of Revelation, in the book of Daniel, it describes to you what the mountains are. Psalms, wait a minute, let's stop. Our Father repeats himself, and he defines himself in his word. His word defines everything that he speaks about. He's got the definition in there of what it means. You just got to get in the Old Covenant, the Old Testament, and the New Testament. And if it's repeated, if it's said in the New Testament, it's going, and you know it's in the Old Testament somewhere, the Old Covenant, then guarantee it's talking about the same exact thing. The same thing. I promise you. That's why our Father repeats Himself, so that we cannot be deceived as easily. Read the whole word. Okay. Let's see. Psalms 57:4. My soul is among lions, and I lie even among them that are set on fire. And that's that 3857. They are set on fire. You don't see them set on fire, but there is a fire, this 3857, that is burning in them. And it's not of Yahusha's fire, his Holy Spirit, wind and breath. It's of this enchantment, this magic of the fallen angels. So let's read it again. My soul is among lions, and I lie even among them that are set on fire. The sons of men, whose teeth are spears and arrows, and their tongue a sharp sword. Dude, that is, oh my goodness, that is talking about these wicked, yeah, my good. Okay, Psalms 83:14 and 15, hopefully it won't turn me off. As the fire burneth a wood, and the flame setteth the mountains on fire, so persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Woo-wee. Okay, so as the fire burneth, and that word burneth is 1197, H1197, a wood. Here we are with trees, wood. And as the flame, and that's 3852, setteth the mountains on fire. Here we are with the mountains being set on fire with that same word lahat. This 3857. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. And remember, we've talked about he uses the hail as his judgment, the ice is his judgment, thunder, lightning. He uses the storm, the weather. Okay, let's see. Isaiah 42:25. Therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger, and the strength of battle, and it has set him on fire round about, yet he knew not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart. And that word, and it has set him on fire, 3857, this enchantment, this magic, round about, and he knew it not. He didn't know that he was under this enchantment, this magic. And it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart. And that word burn is from H1197. He didn't know he was set on fire. He's talking, didn't even know it. So there's a fire, a burning that we don't see, that we don't know, that's spiritual, that's happening here. And in the end of time, when our Father comes, it's going to be more of spiritual than it is anything else. There's going to be so much to do with the Spirit, because He will judge every man's work. And yes. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Praise you, Yahushua. Okay, Psalms 104:4. Who maketh His angels spirits, His ministers a flaming fire. That word flaming is 3857, and fire is the H784. Now look, in Hebrews 1:7, and of the angels He saith, who maketh His angels spirits, and His ministers a flaming fire. In the Greek language, if you look up these words, flaming, fire, burn, they'll all have the same concordance number. But this right here refers back to, and if you look, like I said, in Psalms 104 and Hebrews 1, chapter 1, and in Psalms chapter 104, they refer back to one another. He talks about the foundations, the mountains, the coverings, the garment. He talks about these things in both chapters that I'm speaking about here. And he brings up this same Bible verse that has already been written in Psalms 104. He brings it up in Hebrews 1:7. So that means that it should be the same exact concordance number, but it's not. I think it's G4442 is the concordance number for the Greek. That it should be the same concordance number. So that's why it's so important. Oh, that concordance. When I was blessed with that concordance, that was one of the best things that Jesus, Holy Spirit, Wind and Breath could have ever done for me. Hallelujah, praise you, Jesus. It's not for everybody, but you really get into some understanding. I've learned a lot of things. We're not supposed to be calling ourselves Gentiles, and that's just by having the concordance. Because I can see all the Bible verses that have all these these scriptures. Anyway, but it should be the same concordance. It should have the same definition, is what I'm saying. That word for flaming should be this lahat, talking about magic, enchantment, flame, burn, set on fire. That should be the same one in Hebrews 1:7 in the Greek, and it's not. So but he's talking about the same thing. So it should be the same definition. Okay, I'm going to get off that. I want to show you, this is so very important to see how the enemy uses the word and just twists it just a little bit. And it's not. And here we are today. He's blessing us with His truth. Okay, Job 41:21. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. And this is talking about the Leviathan in Job 41. And the Leviathan is also mentioned in Psalms 104. But this is talking about the Leviathan's breath, it kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth, out of the Leviathan's mouth. That word kindleth is that concordance number 3857, that lahat. His breath, so that means His Spirit, the Holy Spirit, wind and breath. He's not the Holy Spirit, wind and breath. He's the false Spirit, wind and breath. No bueno, no good. It kindleth coals, and kindleth magic, enchantment. I really think this goes along with Job. Not Job, but Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 8, when he talks about that this enchantment or this charm will be lifted off the serpents, the cockatrices. And right before that, he brings up Dan and these horses. And he talks about yes. What if that is these tails that is on the horses in Revelation chapter 9? The horses' tails that have mouths as serpents. They have heads as serpents and mouths that do hurt men. That enchantment, that, I don't know, just thoughts there. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have here before we get off here? I don't see anything else for this concordance number. Okay. Alright. I love y'all so much. Yes. Remember this, talking about the fire that burneth. And they don't even know they're being burned. And then there's one that talks about that they will be caught up in their own heat. Oh, I don't know where it's at, so I'm not going to speak it any longer, because I'm not really sure where that one is. But their heat. Enchantments 358. Okay, I love y'all so much. I'm going to get all, yep. I'm going to be done with this, and we've read the Bible verses, and we'll go into this study, hopefully. This is where I've been, though. This is where I've been, and this is what I've been doing with this word fire, with burning, flaming. There's just so much going on here with this, and we need to get an understanding, you know, because fire doesn't just mean the fire that we see that brings us to ashes. There is, you know, he baptizes us in fire. Our faith is hotter than the fiery darts of the wicked, you know. And then when we go into the concordance numbers or the Bible verses in the New Covenant, the New Testament, speaking about these words of fire, burning, flame, you know, we will see that he's talking about his Holy Spirit and covered with the right Holy Spirit. He covered with his Spirit and wind and breath and nothing else. And it's just very interesting what he's doing for us with this word. So I want to show y'all just a little bit more of this beautiful place. This is called Leatherwood, where I'm at. And ain't it absolutely gorgeous? I mean, just beautiful. Just beautiful. Praise Yahushua Jesus. Thank y'all. Keep me in your prayers, please. I've been really, it's hitting me harder, you know. The more time that goes by, it's hitting me harder that Opie's not here. And I'm really having challenging times just trying to focus on other things besides Opie not being here. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for your love. And y'all have a blessed day in the name of Yahushua. Thanks so much for listening.